Hello and welcome to Get Better, a show about two longtime friends trying their best, growing up, and hopefully getting better. I'm Zach Johnson.
And I'm Sam Cherry. So I feel like for the listeners, this has been 1 week. For us, it's been 8 years.
9 years, yeah.
So, I need to remember to not come in hot so much. Oh, gosh, I probably already did. I think my microphone adjusts as I talk, so I'm peeking out in the front of like every file.
Yeah. I don't know what recording software do you use?
Simple Record.
Okay. I'm using GarageBand right now.
Said maybe I'll do that.
There's a lot of things at the bottom of the screen that so I click onto it and I go to voice and then I click the option that says narration voice. I've never even looked at the other voices, but there's one that's called bright vocal, fuzz vocal, telephone vocal, and robot vocal. So those are the ones that I have the options for. And at the bottom of the screen, there is just like this little, it clearly is designed to look a certain way because people that have this machinery will be familiar with it, but it's kind of like a little soundboard thing at the bottom of the screen, and I can adjust a whole bunch of things, and I have elected to never touch it because I'm just assuming that once you click narration voice, it's the machine is just like, all right, listen, dum-dum, you clearly have no idea what's going on. Right. So I'll go ahead and take this one.
Yeah, I mean, that is why, eventually, because it turned out to be way more complicated than I thought, why eventually when we get a board set up, I'll be able to do those EQ settings to actually, make our voices sound better and good. But, of course, by nature of this segment, two guys try to figure out technology.
Yeah.
The Patreon exclusive. Go to our patreon.com/ Meet the Fuckers 2 Fucked Up.
Meet the Fuckers 2 Fucked Up, yeah.
And you can get this live feed. I don't know when I will ever get that board set up because I just can't. I mean, I basically have to get a desktop computer. Ooh,
there's a bunch of other things over here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. Just in the meantime, I'll be practicing with if I sound better with narration vocal or a whole list of other vocals I found, one of which is monster vocal.
I would love if you tested that not on the show. That would be great.
Okay. I thought you were going to say test that right now. And I was like, boop.
You know what? On second thought, yeah, actually, if you could test that right now, that would be great. Okay,
let's see what this sounds like. Oh, nope, nothing doing.
It won't change it?
I thought. No, hold on. I'm just kind of dumb. Ooh, what if I do this?
That's sort of the nature of the segment.
Yeah. And this is we've already decided this is like a burn pile, I guess, just by the very nature of what's happening right now.
I feel like we got so much in the tank because we haven't spoken in a month that
what is,
because first of all, you in a twist of fate sent me an insano text instead of me sending you an insano text.
Oh, right.
Usually I just barrage you with I don't know, crazy thoughts I have, and I'm like, what if actually this is it? And you're like, well, that's crazy. And then you asked me.
and you treated me the exact same way, and then I was like, I felt very much like I was on the end of that. Let's see. Hold on.
Wait a minute. Your response to my crazy thoughts is absolute silence. I at least entertained.
That's true.
Is The Rock hot? Question until it got to a point where it was like, I don't know, right. I'm not attracted to men, so I can't tell you. It's not.
I don't think, and I feel like there's enough people. I didn't find a lot of solace online, which is usually where I thought I would find all this. But oh goodness. So I was thinking through, not is The Rock hot? Because The Rock is an incredibly attractive guy. Sure. He has he is just sculpted out of marble. He looks like
he's
a creature from he just looks like an old a creature from the Odyssey. He is immaculate,
like some sort of scorpion king.
Yes, some sort of king of just not exactly bugs, but not exactly crabs. One of those things.
Something around that way.
Yeah. So I was just I saw the movie Hobbs and Shaw because fans of the podcast will know that I am an unabashed Fast and Furious fan. And throughout those movies, like, so Dwayne Johnson's character, Luke Hobbs, is first introduced in Fast Five. And in that time, he is never seen as like a romantic figure. He is just some dude. Well, no, he's not some dude. He is like a monster, and he is like the best cop in the game, and he is not to be trifled with. And so this very much kind of set the stage for the way that he was perceived as an actor. And then this movie, they have this female lead that he kind of has this like thing for. Okay, I will say this. The most of Hobbs and Shaw is like jokes you would have come up with in a middle school locker room, and it's that as an entire movie. So
it did not look good.
Not a ton in the way of romantic lines and / or general well treatment of the characters, both male and female, respectively. So at one point in the movie, they The Rock and this one female character, I don't want to spoil anything, but they shared this like on-screen kiss, and it is like just for a second. But the entire movie leading up to that is like her making kind of flirty movements towards him, and the whole thing just feels weird because at one point Jason Statham calls him an elephant. And I was kind of like, yeah, that's kind of what he's like. He's kind of like an elephant. Like, he's just huge and hairless and is definitely dangerous, but super charming, and I would love to be around it. But, like, not in a seductive or sexy way. So, and then I was looking up some of his filmography, and he is, like, never a leading man, like, in a romantic lead, ever. Like, he's mostly just, like, Captain Kickbutt, I am a monster sort of like movies, but never ever as like a romantic lead. And so that was kind of what threw me down this path of like, do people think The Rock is sexy? Not hot and not like handsome, but could he be in a romantic role and it would make sense? And I don't think he can.
I guess I see the distinction you're making. It's not like, I mean, I don't understand how he can be ripped and handsome, but you're not sure how people find him sexually attractive. That's confusing to me. But
I think
you mean
so.
Like romantically appealing? Are you saying like people want to sleep with The Rock, but they don't want to date The Rock?
So I would say there are people in movies that I think can exist as like they're not fully handsome, but they are like seductive. One that comes to mind immediately is always Adrian Brody, who is like, when you look at him, there's like there's a couple of seconds where you're like, dude, what are you good looking? And then you see him in a movie and you're just like, oh yeah, you're totally good looking. But it's more of like how he operates and less of like his actual looks. So anyway, like just like looking through his filmography, he never has a like female co-lead. It's always like him kind of playing against type, or like him. It's either he's playing like big strong guy, or he's playing like nerdy guy that just happens to be super huge and strong.
Or something like Academy Award winning film Skyscraper, where I think he's a dad.
Yeah, and
but like
so
the girl's not like a part of the movie.
Yeah, and that's another thing that happens. So in the Fast and Furious movies, he has a daughter, but no wife to be seen. And so if he does have a wife, he has a kid, you know, and he's like a dad type. And even in the movie Baywatch, I'm looking at his filmography right now. In the movie Baywatch, he is seen as this guy who is taking his job way too seriously. And it is Zac Efron. His character is the one that has the romantic arc, not The Rock, who is just seen as like the guy who's like super capable and is going to take care of every situation.
I see what you're saying. I was a little confused. Because I think
it's curious. He's never really been cast as that person. And I'm kind of thinking like, well, what would happen if he did? And then I was thinking through like who's someone else that looks kind of like him, like someone else that has a similar background. And that is when I was texting you about John Cena for a second, who also has a very similar, like is clearly
wrestlers.
like, yeah, both wrestlers, but like both like sculpted out of marble and are just like super, super strong. But the only time that I can remember that John Cena was seen having a romantic counterpart was in the movie Trainwreck. And that's kind of played for a joke. Like the joke is like, this is what it'd be like to date a guy that looks like this. And I don't know. I just think it's like, and then I was kind of thinking through like just what would happen if like The Rock just was given a like pure romantic movie role. But then again, we don't really have those all that much anymore. And if they are, they're like way too over serious, like La La Land or something like that.
Do you think it's because he's just such a pure wrecking ball of a person that they're like, no one cares, no one wants to see this? Like they want to see him punch a guy so hard that his spine goes through a wall. Like nobody wants to see him like go on a date. Like I don't want to see The Rock go on a date.
Yeah, and so when in this movie you do kind of see that happen, it's just like it's really weird. Like his character like handles it the way that like, and it's weird because here we go. So his character is like a super capable guy that just happens to be a dad. But when it's on the subject of this girl, he just becomes like this super weird, like alpha male guy that just says like really, really like stuff that I would have said when I was like 14.
Sure.
So I don't know. But then again, I haven't seen Ballers, the People's Choice Award winning Ballers.
Of course.
I don't know if he has a romantic lead in that one.
I mean, probably because it's a television show. But I just think about like, what am I looking for from Rock the Dwayne Johnson? And like, I want to watch him ride a jet ski, get over a huge wave, and then jump onto the bars of a helicopter, which he flies into a volcano, but like doesn't go into the volcano because he jumps on a missile. Like that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
And then like,
but okay,
that's what
so
I want to
thinking,
see. I don't want to see like, and then he goes on a date to TGI Fridays. Like I'm not interested in that version of The Rock.
Yeah, I guess. But like kind of thinking through, like, I'm also like other Hollywood strongmen of the past, because The Rock is kind of like hearkening back to this like Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger type thing.
Sure.
And in those, I mean, like, I'm trying to think through, like, I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of had the same situation, but I know there's one movie where he's married.
I mean, Kindergarten Cop, he's like
I think it's True Lies. Yeah, it's True Lies.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess it's kind of the same situation because, what are you going to see? What are you going to see an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie for, if not to see him side by side Danny DeVito being hilarious?
Right, exactly.
Exactly. So like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, our 2019 equivalent is Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart. It's the same joke.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It is the exact same.
Yeah, it's the same joke. It's like
separated at birth.
He's really tall and he's really short, and camera's rolling. We did not write a script.
Yeah, man. So you sent me that text. I was confused and thought you were asking why he's hot, and I said you should probably divert that question to someone attracted to men, because I don't know. I don't know why anyone finds anyone attractive or finds any man attractive.
Yeah.
Because I'm not attracted to men. So I don't know. I'm just sort of shooting in the dark on that one. But I guess I see more what you're saying as far as like he's... Does anyone want this? Is anyone here for this? Is anyone here for like The Rock is in love? Like, and no, I don't think I am. I mean, I don't really. I don't know. I want to see him launch a motorbike into a gasoline truck. Like that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Like I want to see
one of those gasoline trucks. Those trucks filled with gasoline, also carrying gasoline.
Yes. The truck. Yeah, not like a truck that has gasoline as opposed to like an electric truck. I mean, like a tanker full of gasoline.
One of those Tesla trucks, not one of those.
I tell you what, that girl on YouTube I sent you a couple weeks ago, where she like turned her Tesla into a truck and called it Truckla, and then like 6 weeks later, Tesla was like, okay, and now they just. I'm sure obviously they had been working on it, but like 6 weeks later they came out with a truckla, and like that is what people are calling it, is a truckla.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, hey, Simone, whatever your name is.
I will say this: if you want to see Rock the Dwayne Johnson do things like that, Hobbs and Shaw it's one of those movies where I think it's because it's been so long into this series that you just kind of accept things.
Right.
And there's this one part where, and like, it's just like everything happens, and then like it's almost like you can look at the audience and be like, it's because he's like super strong.
He's like so strong, bro.
He's like so strong. And at one point, like he's holding a helicopter by a chain
Very cool.
while holding on to the back of a truck. And then he is the only thing that's keeping the helicopter attached to this truck. And then the audience is just like, proceed.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
like you don't need, like, that's what I want.
Of course.
Like, why isn't he ripped in half? Because he's real strong, guys.
Because he's stronger than a helicopter, and also the truck he is on.
And also his body is strong. Like, it's not just his muscles. Like the tissue connecting it is stronger than steel. And he's just a real strong guy, and that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I love it. Love it.
There's one part where he is in traditional Samoan like garb.
Cool.
And he does a little Samoan dance, which is perfect. He walks like through a fire, and he's like shirtless for the first time in the movie, and he's like not even. It is like he's not even like ripped in a Hollywood sense. He's just like, it's like, oh, that's the strongest person that's ever walked God's green earth. That is the strongest person in the world, maybe. And so, or like maybe of all time, like, you know, Dwayne The Rock Johnson versus anybody. He's way stronger.
See, that's surprising to me, because from the advertising, I thought the entire movie was just that one scene where the two of them went into two different rooms, because it didn't seem like they actually had any other clips from the movie. They just had that one scene, and then that was
the movie is mostly that. Okay. It is different locations. It's different locations, but the same joke. There's a lot of sequences where it's like, you do it this way, but I do it this way. And it's like, well, you're kind of doing the same thing. Like you're doing like Jason Statham's doing more flippity whips, but like, you know, you're both beating people up. Like it's not, you know, it's not that you're not doing too much of a different thing.
right.
So in that way, it's like maybe one of the worst buddy cop movies. Cause like in a buddy cop movie, it's like, I do it this way, but I do it this way. We have to come together and like put our differences aside. And it's just like, I beat up people this way, and I beat up people this way. And it's just like, all right, all right.
I punch real hard. I flip, and then I punch real hard. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, well, I'm all right. I guess that's.
I'm an alpha, and I'm British. I'm an alpha, and I'm from Samoa. And it's just like, okay.
Somebody give this guy a motorcycle. It's just ramp that into the White House? I don't know. Whatever.
And it's just like, I just wanted like, you know, some director or whatever to like walk into the scene and go like, stop talking.
Yeah. We don't need that's what I think that gets to your point of like, why is it weird to see The Rock have a love interest? It's like, I don't care. I mean, him as a person, I hope, you know, whatever, but like his characters of like, I'm way strong and I want to, and it's not just that he's way strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's that he's way strong. And that he has built a brand on that thing of like holding a truck and a helicopter. Like he's built a brand on this Fast and Furious kind of thing of like, I'm going to. Isn't there a scene where he's on a jet ski and he's flying and he's going next to a missile and he has to like disarm the missile, or he like doesn't he? No, that's what he does. He grabs the missile and throws it harder.
It's actually much crazier.
Okay.
That's in Fate of the Furious, and that's one where a submarine shoots a missile, and Rock, using his quick thinking, gets out of his car and is like skating on the ice next to the missile and just like pushes the missile into the bad guys.
Right. He grabs onto the literal rocket.
He grabs onto the rocket,
and just gives it extra push.
The fully armed rocket.
Yeah. I don't even care about the explosion part. It's the fact that it's a rocket. It's already going pretty fast. And he's just like, let me give it a little extra, little kiss. And he just throws it at the...
Yeah. I feel like there were a lot of things where it's like they got a bunch of dudes in a room to drink Monster Energy drinks and then be like, oh, wouldn't it be sick? And there's one of those, which is like the most gratuitous of the things. It's like the wouldn't this be sick moments.
Right.
There's a scene where this guy is coming at them in a motorcycle and he punches through his car window and grabs him.
Cool.
And then throws him into a wall, like using the force of the car itself. He so the guy's coming out of the motorcycle, he just grabs him right off the motorcycle and then propels him into a wall. And you're just like, tight.
Now,
like that's
don't they also drop a tank off a helicopter and then like get in the tank and shoot another tank with a helicopter? Or shoot a helicopter out with a tank that's falling in the air?
You are thinking of A-Team, which is another great movie.
Okay. That
movie.
Different. No,
Yeah,
isn't there also some helicopter shenanigans in the Fast and Furious franchise?
There are several like you can like it's like
let me tell you.
There's only so much time before you're thinking to yourself, it's like, all right, we got cars, we got trucks, we had that one scene with a bus. Man, what other things? And then it's just like boom, submarine, boom, tank, boom, helicopter. There's a ton of helicopters, and there's rumors that because like, let's think, we only have a few more vehicles left, and we only have, according to them, only 2 more movies left, Fast 9 and Fast 10.
Yeah, right.
So there have been rumors where like they've talked to the screenwriters, and like as a joke, some people are just like, okay,
space.
so are you guys gonna like go into space?
Going into space. Gotta go into space.
The screenwriters, their response was like, maybe, probably.
Why not?
Yeah, just like we got away with it like 8 times in a row. So like, yeah, all right, let's go into space. Where else can we go?
The moment that I think about probably the most in all of cinematic history is the scene in Tokyo Drift where obviously they're going to solve all their problems with drifting. If you don't drift to win, what do you drift for? So they are running away from the bad guys, and there's a crowd of people, and you know he's about to drift, right? You know he's about to drift. And then you get a top view. It's a huge crowd of people. And within 1 second, I guess, they all recognize the situation and move away to make a perfect like U for him to drift through and not hit any other people and get out.
They all run, they don't run in separate directions. They're all just like, they make like a step back. They see 2 cars. One is like neon green and it has like green lights underneath it, and they're just like, all right, okay, everybody, we know the drill.
And they move.
Time to step into formation.
And so 2 things about that scene. I don't care that the people, whatever. Okay, who cares? It's Fast and Furious. But the 2 things about that is, number 1, he didn't know they were going to do that. So was he planning to just plow into these people? Because he didn't stop the car. He just drifted through this like impromptu curve that they made, right?
Yeah.
And number 2, wouldn't it be easier and faster just to turn?
No, absolutely not.
I mean, like, it doesn't, I mean, again, who cares? Like, I don't care. Like, these movies are rad and they should make 100. But like, there's this scene where he drifts, and so he drifts through this curve, but it's like, so if you had just turned the wheel though, wouldn't that have, I mean, sure, lucky you.
Yeah, well.
But what you did is you saw a crowd of people, turned your car 90 degrees so that you would hit more of them. And then, lucky for you, they made a perfect drift curve. You drifted through it, but it absolutely would have been faster for you to just like turn through instead of murdering all the people. Is what I'm saying. I'm glad he did it. Every frame of that movie is perfect. I'm not criticizing, but I do.
Every frame of that movie should be printed out and put in the MoMA.
Yes, but because they do a top view of it. It does point out, like, well, wait a minute, he could just turn there. Like, it does make it a lot more clear to me. Why didn't you just turn? Obviously, it's not called Tokyo Turn. I get that.
Yeah.
I get it.
And what I'm learning from this conversation right now is that you do not drift to win.
What do you drift for?
Yeah. I think the some of the funnier things about that, because I was kind of like thinking through that. So in the whole world of Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift actually takes place after 7.
Right.
So, or wait, no, before 6, no, before 7, after 6. So people like, I think something that's much funnier in that is like when the people make that perfect little like drift alley, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It is like, it should be just the implications of like, that is some universe building right there, because like the people at this point in their lives are like, they're used to seeing these stories all the time where cars are doing insane, miraculous things. And then this must be just so ingrained, like car culture in those movies is the culture. Like there's a scene in, I think 7. Yeah, it's in 7. Where they go to, like London to do a race, and it's in what's that one place called in London? The circus place. Like
Piccadilly Circus.
like the meetup for that scene, the meetup for that illegal in quotation car race is in that area, and it's like, dude, that would take hours and hours and hours to set up, and it is this like gigantic party every time they do a car meetup in those movies. It is this otherworldly huge party.
Right.
And they also have Race Wars, which happens in the desert, and it is jam packed with people. There are so many people at all those things. So I think this is more like kind of harkens into just the universe building that is happening in the Fast and Furious movies, that those people are so used to car culture. This thing probably happens all the time, and they knew it's like, this guy's not going to turn. There is no chance this guy's turning. This guy is drifting. This guy drifts to win, and we have got to make a perfect U.
They know what's going to happen. They know that, they don't care what beer you drink as long as it's Corona. They're living their life 1/4 mile at a time. They are in it. They get it.
Yeah.
They're about family.
Yeah. They, and like everything is so correlated in that universe. And so it must be just like a part of the culture that's there.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so that's what what I think. I don't know how we got onto Tokyo Drift, but
the same way we always do. It's a perfect movie.
Yeah. It is a perfect movie to watch in a Airbnb that you are paying for ? And yeah.
No, we paid for it for sure.
We paid for it, but it was like,
I guess I didn't pay for it.
Yeah. It was just really, I think that was just really funny. Like it's like, man, we're really out here watching Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Like we're in this, we saw this movie when Sam and I and a couple of our friends went to New Orleans, and it was so hot outside that we were just like, forget it. Let's just watch Tokyo Drift in entirety. And I think like that same day, like, Rush Hour 3 was also on, and it was like, yeah, let's see what Rush Hour 3 has to say.
We watched only sequels the whole day. We didn't spend the entire day inside.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
spent
that's true.
a lot of the day outside, and then it was like 3:00 in the afternoon, and it was June, and it was just like, okay, guys.
Yeah, we can only look at street art for so long that we're definitely not going to buy
Good street art, but yeah,
definitely good street art, but. Yeah, not anything that I was willing to spend like $400 or something or whatever it was on.
Sure, you don't want a Black Panther, but also he's got a Nike. He's wearing Nikes or whatever. Have I told you about? Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's this Tumblr that is perfect, and I think I've sent it to you. I think of you every time. I think Zach would love this because it has changed my whole brain on like bad T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Tumblr. You'll find it if you just Google this. It's a Tumblr called Just Two Things. Have I sent this to you?
I don't think so.
So it's just two things, and basically, that's what you say. So it'll show something where it's like The Simpsons, but they're all like Marvel characters, and it's a T-shirt, and it's like. That's nothing.
Oh,
that's nothing.
My gosh.
That's nothing. That's just two things. You just took two unrelated things and put them together.
Man. Okay, the very, very first thing is oh my gosh.
Just two things. It's like the Smurfs, but they're smoking weed.
Oh, this is perfect. The very first picture is a edit of the Hobbs and Shaw
Oh, perfect.
movie poster, and it's Calvin and Hobbes.
Just two things. They're just two things.
And it's The Rock as Hobbs, and he's like a giant buff tiger. And it's just they took Jason Statham's hair and just made it red. That's it.
It's just two things. I mean, that
Oh
at least
my
both has
gosh.
Hobbs in it, but like
Yeah.
it's
Jeez.
there's so much like stuff on the internet where like it's bad, but I never had the words to be like, why exactly is this SpongeBob SquarePants but he's a gangster dumb? And it's like, oh, it's because it's just two things. You just took two things, SpongeBob and Bling Rap, and you were like, what if those were together? And it's like, it would be stupid is what it would say. Anyway, I imagine you're going to spend the rest of the podcast on there. So this is the perfect time for me to give the follow-up to last week's / last year's episode where I talked about how much I think social media is stupid and bad. And then in the
oh my gosh, man,
this is time.
Yes, I have been waiting for this one for so long.
Don't get too excited. I did get banned from Facebook. So, and it's not for like Nazi stuff because apparently that's totally fine on Facebook.
Yes, speak on
they're
it.
They're super cool with election interference and Nazis, but or no, Twitter's the Nazis, huh? Anyway,
they're everywhere.
It's a bad website made by bad people. So I am taking a class, an online class, in animation. It's by School of Motion. It's super cool, and they're really great. Only good things to say about them. But part of the class is that there is a Facebook group for your class. So like the 100 or so people that are in the class with you, they put you all in a Facebook group so you can post your work and critique each other. And then they also have like an alumni group for alumni of the class. If you take a School of Motion class, you get put in the alumni group. And it's just a good way to network and also critique your work and blah, 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 blah. I think they post job opportunities there sometimes. But anyway, it's part of this class. Well, I had a Facebook years ago and got rid of it because I think it's a bad website made by bad people. And so I didn't have an account. I didn't want to relaunch it because I just didn't want to fuss with it. And so I was like, I'll just make a new account. I had done this previously where I worked at a place and I was running some of their marketing. And so I needed to be able to run Facebook ads. And so I made a Facebook because you can't just do it from like a corporate account. You have to have a personal account tied to the corporate account, which was very frustrating to me. So I have Facebook number 1, which is, let's just call college Facebook, because I got rid of it in college, but college Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And then
before it, I don't know if you burned that one to the ground the way you did some of your Instagrams, but let's hope you did.
Many Instagrams. Yeah, no, actually, so those are kind of inverse. I think I got into Instagram right around when I got rid of Facebook. Somewhere around those things. So, I don't know, near the end of college, sometime around there. Anyway, I got rid of Facebook because Instagram is obviously a better website. I know they're owned by the same people. Don't at me. Because you can't. Because I don't exist on the internet.
Don't at me. But if you do find our Patreon, if you do make a Patreon for us, add us on that.
Add us on Meet the Fockers 2 Fucked Up, the patreon.com. And so anyway, so Facebook 1 is college. Facebook 2 is work. And then I deleted it. Oh, what was it? Oh, I had no personal information on there. I just wanted to run ads. But I think maybe because my phone number was the same, they started giving me I had no friends on there except for the people in my office. And they started suggesting people that I actually knew from school, like fraternity brothers. And I got spooked. And I was done with what I was doing anyway. And I think actually I might have just started using someone else's account. Like, can we just run these ads on yours? Because I got spooked. I was like, they know who I am. I hate this. This is awful and intrusive and no one should put up with it. Because they started recommending people I actually knew, but there were no data points to suggest that I knew them, right? It was like, I think I said that I went to Western, but it wasn't giving me like everyone that went to Western. It was like specific people.
Yeah.
Spooked. Deleted the account, right? So then Facebook 3 is the class Facebook. And here's where I think I messed up. So I make Facebook 3, the reckoning, and I used what is on my computer as me.jpg, and if you see a picture of me on the internet, it is that one. It's me in a green shirt and short hair, which I don't own that shirt, and I don't have that haircut anymore, so
yeah.
oops. But I need a new me.jpg. But anyway, me.jpg is just me on the internet. I just have this one picture of me, and it's everywhere on the internet. Different, though, from college Facebook, right? So I think that's where I messed up. So I make Facebook 3, and I use
3 Facebook, 3 Furious.
3 Facebook 3 Tokyo Drift, and I use the same picture. I use me.jpg. So whatever, I'm in the class, it's fine. A week goes by, and then they're like, "Hey, for security reasons, keep in mind this is a company that continually has to go in front of Congress for their breaches of data and how they're selling our data to foreign governments. For security reasons, we need you to upload another photo of your face, and make sure it's really clear." This is what it says. Make sure you can really clearly see your face. Which is like, oh, you're working on your face recognition algorithm and like your person recognition, right? Like you're working on like facial recognition technology, which they have because they can sort of, you get that where you upload a picture and it's like, oh, is this person? Like, but that's what they're working on. And they're like, we just need, hey, it's not for any of that, just for security reasons. Could you give us another photo of you and also your phone number? Which, cool. So I do that, but all I have is me.jpg on my computer just because, I don't know, there are photos of me, but I just don't have them on my computer. And they're like, okay, well, we'll get back to you. A couple days later, they get back to me, and they're like, your account has been deactivated. I was like,
oh.
No one I can talk to, nothing I can do, da-da-da-da. But they go to a page, and it's like, why has it been deactivated? And they're like, well, it could be because it's a spam account. It could be blah, 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 blah. And it could be because it's a duplicate. And I'm like, okay. Obviously, that's where I've messed up. I use the same phone number and the same picture. They know that this is the same as Facebook 2. This time it's personal, the work Facebook. And so they shut down the account. And I'm like, well, crap. Well, I want to be in this class. I mean, I'm in the class regardless because the class is hosted on School Emotions website. But I want to be in this Facebook group because I want to like network with people and just like get critique on my work and like talk to people about my work. And also I paid for this class, and so I want to get the full experience. But I hate Facebook, so I'm like, I really. But I finally decided like, no, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'll just I'll reopen my old account. I can probably guess the password because it's before I used any kind of password security. Which now everything's like locked down tight. But like, I had like 2 passwords that I used for just like garbage, and this was one of them, and so I was like, okay, whatever. So I guessed it and I get it, and I'm like, okay, and I'll just delete all my friends because I sincerely do not want to connect with anyone on Facebook. I just want the website so I can get in the group. So I'll just delete all my friends, delete all the groups I'm in, delete all my likes and everything, and just have a blank slate Facebook. But get into this group so that my work can get critiqued and I can improve in what.
And maybe send some pro Russia articles. Who's to say?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe if someone wants to send me an article about how the president got endorsed by Marlock, King of the Stars, and that he's gonna be the new pope after this, and that God personally came down and said he was the best president ever, and everyone should vote for him. Sure, maybe I'll post that. Maybe it's real and true and good, and I'll do that thing. But otherwise,
so if it comes up,
and if anyone's wondering, those are my official stances. That the president of the United States was endorsed by Marlock, King of the Stars, and the Pope 2. Yes, he's going to be Pope 2. So that is officially what I think is Donald Trump will be the next Pope because he's so good and great and doing a good job.
There's not the first time there's been 2 popes or more than 2 popes.
It's true. He could be, instead of the Pope at Avignon, he could be the Pope at Mar-a-Lago. But we do have one rule in this podcast, and it's that we have 2 rules. We don't talk about ghosts and we don't talk about the president. So
that's just gonna be bleeped.
Yes, exactly.
Just one giant bleep.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm like, fine, I'll reactivate the account. whatever. Get the password, primo. And then, here's the situation. They give me two options. A Sophia's choice, if you will.
Okay.
And it is that you can either A, send us a picture of your passport.
Okay.
From the website that is constantly in front of Congress for how bad their privacy is and how they sell our data to people. Send us a picture of your passport, which, no. There's not a universe where I do that, right? Like, there's not a universe where I ever do that. Or it was like, or send us like your driver's license.
Do you have your passport?
Why?
Like on you?
I mean, who's asking?
No, I was saying, like, if I had to get my passport, I would have to go through a huge rigmarole.
You don't like just have it?
No. I would have to go to my hometown and then go talk to a bank there where they have it in a locked away container.
What if you have to travel?
Then I'll have to go get it from that
aforementioned
bank container. Because, like, for the most part, you're not just I don't know about anyone else, but I'm not just like, I might just go to Canada today.
Well,
like, I am, like, everything is, like, it doesn't take me, like, it's going to take me, like, an afternoon to get it. But if someone was like, hey, do you have your passport? I go, like, no. Like, no, I absolutely do not. I can't be trusted with that.
That's fair. Well, for our listeners, I just want to make a correction. Yes, I have definitely done that, and mine is also in a bank vault far away. In fact, my passport is in a Swiss bank vault, so I have to get my passport to get my passport.
Oh my gosh, you have two passports. I got that is I got 5 passports. I'm never going to jail. That is
I met Kanye West. I'm never going to hell. So my passport is very far away. But let's say it wasn't.
Okay, you were at the bank when you were on Facebook.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm never gonna do that in a million billion years. And then the other option, which I think is clever except for one little hitch. The other option is that because it's trying to verify that it is you in real life. And so they say, hey, contact 5 of your Facebook friends and have just in real life, because you really know them, right? You know real people. You are this person. Contact 5 of your Facebook friends. Have them go to this website. That's like facebook.com/recovery or whatever. And they'll get a code there, and then just put in 3 of those codes, 3 of the 5, and we'll let you back in your Facebook.
Oh my woof. Okay.
A little complicated, but it sounds reasonable. Now, Zach, I have to ask, you being one of my closest friends, did you get a text?
No,
you didn't. And do you know why you didn't get a text?
Enlighten me.
Because they don't let you pick which 5 people.
Are you kidding me?
So I got 5 people that I have not spoken to in literally 10 years.
You have a Russian roulette of like anybody. Like,
so unless I run into Rebecca Mullins from Newburgh Middle School.
It's like, even like for me, it's like, oh yeah, dude, remember when we were 13 and like we went to a camp together and we might as well just have each other as Facebook friends until the sun burns out. Like, right. What happens if one of those people get it?
Right. That's who I got. I got like literally 5 people that I have not spoken to in a decade, which for a 26-year-old is a big part of my life.
Yeah.
And
it's just like, because you have to message them and just be like, allow me to reintroduce myself.
But that's the thing, is you can't message them because you can't get into Facebook.
That is so wild.
So if I could pick the 5, I would pick all the frequent guests on the show, right? I would pick you, my wife, Evan, Charlie, and Robert. I would just be like, bam, got it. Like, that's it. Like, these 5 people, could you just go to this website? It's not a big deal. Just like go to this website, get a code, send it to me. No big deal. But I don't get to pick who the 5 people are. So unless I want to send my literal passport to a company that just like 3 weeks ago had to pay, or 8 years ago, whatever, had to pay like $5 billion in fees to the FTC for how terrible their privacy is. Those people are like, no problem. Just send me either your driver's license or your passport or like your utility bill. All of those are perfectly fine options to send to Facebook.com, where we'll just, don't worry, hold on to it. I know that we sold all that data to Cambridge Analytica and also Russian bots.
I know there were some crimes.
I know that we are goblins, but you can totally trust us. So effectively, so am I literally banned from Facebook.com? No. But I'm also not banned from like the Oval Office. But like effectively I am. Like I can't I'm not gonna go there. I can't just like go there unless I go through a lot of hoops.
Unless you give them your passport, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's a little easier to get on Facebook than it is the Oval Office. But you know what I mean? Like, I can't just like go to the Pentagon. It's like, no, you're gonna need to do something.
But the principle is the same.
But effectively, for my life, in a reasonable sense, I am not allowed to go there. And so
that is wild.
And I can't make a new account because they have facial recognition and they know it's me. And so I can either get a new phone number and take new pictures of myself, which actually that part's not that hard, but still, get a new phone number and hope that my pictures look different enough that they think I'm a different person, or send my or personally send my visa over to a Russian troll farm, or run into Rebecca Mullins from Newburgh Middle School and ask her to like go to a website.
Oh my gosh.
So I got banned from Facebook. Which is honestly a crowning achievement for me. I love it. I literally, if I wanted to, could not get back on the website. And it's not related to Instagram, even though they own it. So like Instagram, you can just make Instagrams. Like I have 6 Instagrams just because like making different joke Instagrams is fun and funny. So you just make them and you have an email and they're just like, whatever, dude. You know,
that's really funny just because I think this is probably a reaction to like all the flack they've been in. It's just like, okay, we got to make sure they can prove that it's them somehow. How about and they have like a whiteboard and it's like send your passport. That's a good one. Let's write that one down. And we get to choose 5 friends to send a code to. And that's lunch.
Right.
And they just like never went back to it.
Because in their mind, no one would ever delete their Facebook. Because that's the thing. The friend idea is not that bad, except the like delusion that you have to be under to think that you know all your Facebook friends and you have all their phone numbers.
And that's like not their, because I mean they work there. They must know that that's not the model.
Right. And
even like from a business standpoint, that's not the model.
And maybe it's because they want you to send your passport instead. Like that's the thing is like, yeah. We know that this game is impossible.
Yeah. Because because you can probably get that moreover because like we get to choose the 5 people thing might like kind of, because based on what you're saying to me, like you there's no like you hit the thing and does it tell you the 5 people?
Yeah.
And is there like a button next to it where you just go like bloop, like refresh that? Let's try that again.
No.
Man. That's interesting. Originally I thought that's so funny. Originally I thought that maybe it was like the button just said like we'll send it to 5 people once you click this button, and it was like you want to chance it, like do you want to make that bet?
No, that's fine, because it's just 3 out of the 5. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think literally, and this isn't funny, which I don't know why I'm saying it, but like I think one of those people has died. If I'm remembering, like, oh yeah, that kid, he died. Like it's literally, which like is a thing. Like there are definitely people I'm friends with on Facebook who have died. I know for a fact, like, yes, I was friends with that person and that person and that person, and all of them are dead. Like everyone has that. Everyone has, you know what I mean? So like the idea that you could just like, it's like, Why would you not let
Yeah,
me
or-
pick the 5?
Yeah, or people that are in a similar situation that just don't get on their Facebook ever because
Or you don't have their phone number.
Yeah.
Like you,
Yeah.
like you met them at a party and you looked them up and became Facebook friends, and then you like 8 years later got a new phone.
Yeah. And like in like 2009, like you
Right.
like went to a like day camp or something with
Right.
someone.
There's no contingency for like new phone who dis. Like that's not a button. They should have
That's
a new
so
phone
funny.
who dis button and be like, oh sorry, or like
That
your 5 most recent friends or the 5 people you talk to the most on the
that
website.
is so funny.
No, it's
Because
5
man,
random
that is so fun because it literally must like. The other option is they were like, oh man, you guys want us to crack down. This is some bullshit. We're gonna
Right.
crack down with you on like just like making up some dumb unwinnable game,
Which is great because
and then just be like, and don't you ever ask us to do anything again.
Right. I hate their website. I never want to get on it. So like it's great for me because I very like begrudgingly made, Facebook 3 Rise of the Facebooks. Anyway, I did not want to make it. Like I didn't want that to exist because I don't like the website.
Yeah.
But it was just like, well, I don't know. I want to get more out of this class, and I have gotten a lot out of the class. So it's like, I wish they would move to like even like Slack would be better. Like, can you just do this on Slack? I can post videos on Slack. Why don't you do this on Slack? I don't know. Or like make a forum. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and tell School Motion how to run their business. Do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. But I did not want to get a Facebook, and then it turns out I unmade my own Facebook. I unmade it, and now I can't get in. Oh, and I can't reset the password because some websites think that things shouldn't last forever, which I think is sensible. So my original Facebook was on different, like it wasn't Gmail, and I tried to like reset the password and log in, and they were like, we don't have an email by that name. Like it's gone. Like they just because it was the first email address I ever had.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like, I haven't
because
used it in 12 years.
Yeah, my Facebook, I think, email is like something I made up like when I must have been in middle school. Like it is a string of words that mean nothing to me now.
Right, like you understand
and
that like
it's like at AIM.com or something.
yeah, I got a Gmail when they were still sending invitations to Gmail. Like I got a Gmail before you could just
Man,
get it was like a friend of mine got an invite and he sent me one so I could get on Gmail.
Oh my gosh, what an absolute like cluster cuss of a marketing plan that was.
I mean, we all have Gmail.
No, because that was back because the invitation that was for Google Plus, which was going to be like the rival to Facebook.
Well, but before that, they also did it with Gmail, and like that's how you got on gmail.com.
I don't remember that, but
Okay.
I'm assuming that's what happened. I mean, I got a Gmail somehow, and the Gmail that I have is using this like ancient like name that I don't even use anymore.
Maybe I am complaining that. Maybe that was Google Plus. Either way, what I'm trying to say is that I got rid of my old email a very long time ago. Like stopped using it a long time ago, and so like there's the idea and they just deleted it. They were like, oh well, we're not gonna waste space on our servers with some email that you haven't used in 12 years. Like we're not doing that. So we just deleted it, which is great. Like I don't have any emails in there. Like I'm not like no one's waiting on me to get back to them.
Yeah. Some poor business is just sending you coupons haphazardly, being like,
I want to give you so much money, but you won't respond to my email.
Yeah.
So so it's deleted, so I can't reset the password. And even then, it because I was worried I wasn't gonna remember the password, and then I figured it out. But still, it was just like, oh well, I can't reset it because I can't get back on the email. Like the email address does not exist anymore. But then but Facebook's like, no, that's cool. It's just like a sign in. It doesn't matter. But you can't get on our website unless you send us your password. And like, man. Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that, guys.
Jeez.
So yeah, got banned from Facebook. That's
that was a bigger deal than you had initially let on.
I thought it was gonna be kind of boring because I'm just explaining like, the protocol for like how a website works. But hey,
Well,
if you liked it, you liked it. I'm glad you liked it.
I mean, I just think it's interesting, just like, because I would never have been in that situation, because I will have my Facebook as long as my mom is posting pictures of me and my sister. So like my Facebook will always exist, and like unless she deletes it, then I won't. And then like it's funny that like there's definitely a lot of people that are going through this situation, and probably a good deal of them being like, it's just easier to send the password at this point.
Yeah, but for what? Like, what do you get?
Yeah,
what do
yeah,
you
yeah.
get out of the
Yeah.
exchange?
I mean, but that's like one of those like kind of like in the age of information where like there's so much content that you kind of get yourself tricked into believing that it's like, well, I got nothing to hide, and then you just like give over stuff willingly, like you think so little of your own footprint on the internet that you're just like haphazardly throwing yourself into it, and just like for the benefit of these like corporations, but under the guise of just like, what are they going to do with it?
Right. And I understand that that's how a lot of people feel, and so I'm not like a pill about it, or I try not to be. And because
a pill about it. Man,
whatever.
that was an old thing to say.
Whatever. But it's going to be followed up by a bunch of old person things to say. I understand this doesn't bother people, and live your life and whatever, and don't at me, but the idea of that, like, I should just be okay with the fact that you are recording all of my like messages and photographs and my whole literal social network of friends and the people I know and communicate with, and my likes and the groups I'm in, and you just record all of that and keep it, and then use it, my life, and sell that to someone else so that they can better target paper towel ads to me. It's like, screw you. No, get out of my face. Like, get out of my face. Like, that is gross to me, and I don't like it. Like, I don't like the idea of being sold. I don't like, and like, I said this to somebody the other day, and they, because I said, I just don't like, I want to reduce the number of algorithms in my life. Like, I want the number of algorithms that affect me, I want to be as low as possible. And they said, well, do you use Google Maps? And I said, yeah, I've turned off all the stuff where it like records everywhere you go. Which, by the way, guys, if you don't know, Google Maps records everywhere you go, and you can look at a history of everywhere you've traveled because they just keep it. And they're just like, here's every place you've ever been. And again, for you, you're like, oh, who cares? But for me, it's don't do that. Like, I don't want you to do that. But, and they said, well, if you have Google Maps, you're still getting tracked. And it's like, I would rather take a teaspoon of poison than a gallon. Like, it's like, if I can reduce the amount of this is what, I just think it's crazy to be like, well, if you're going to drink a soda, you might as well eat a chocolate cake. And it's like, no, I don't think those are the same. Like, I think you can probably like just do less of something. Even like, sure. And I use Gmail, and like, honestly, what I should do is just be in incognito mode all the time so that there's no trackers on like what I'm viewing. And like, I have ad blockers, but like maybe I should get, more expensive ones that actually like
or
do
like
more.
a VPN or whatever.
Right. I could do all those things, but like, I don't, because I don't know, whatever. I don't. I just try to, as much as possible, reduce the amount of tracking and algorithms like in my life, making decisions for me, because they are like specially made by some of the best engineers or programmers and engineers in the world to like steal your attention from you. And that personally offends me, and I don't like it. Like, I don't like the idea that like the YouTube algorithm is made to keep me on that website and to like to build an addiction so that I keep clicking on videos. It's like, no, you're not in charge of me. And that's silly, and that's like a old man thing to say, but that's how I feel. And like, if you want to be on YouTube for 6 hours a day, or even an hour a day or 2 hours or whatever, like, cool, that's your life. I don't care. But for me, I think it's gross, and it makes me mad, and so I try to get it out of my life. So that's me.
Well, there is one way to get you completely off of the grid and get the algorithms in your life down to zero.
Is it moving into the woods?
And that is to give us all of your money. Give us all of your money.
You give us
and
all
we
of
will
your
get you off the
money.
grid.
You can go with
you,
us.
If you give your money to the mud gods, then we promise you.
You're all you got.
Promise you.
It's just
that
mud and sky.
It's mud and sky. And those you only have two algorithms in your life. You have what the mud says and what the sky says.
You know what?
And
it says the same thing every day, which is give us all your money.
Give us all your money.
Go to patreon.com/mudgod.
that's
give us all your money.
We have Meet the Fockers 2 Fucked Up, and that's for this podcast. But our other one, patreon.com/mudgods, that is the one where if there is no donation outside of all, like
right.
You have to put, there is only like the membership is all of your money. All of your money is the membership.
If you join Meet the Fockers 2 Fucked Up /patreon.com/facebook.com.ru then you get our super secret segment two guys try to figure out technology. If you subscribe to the Mud Gods podcast, you get nothing, and that's what you deserve. Give us all your money.
Yeah, give us all of your money, and then you will be free. You will be free.
Give us all your money. So that's where I'm at. I feel like we had another big topic. It's like right there. I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be able to move on this. Oh, we're at an hour. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're done.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I think we had another topic, like a thing of like, oh, man, we really need to talk about this.
Well, I'll look through the backlog.
It's fine. We probably texted each other. But, hey, we're full of beans. I got banned from Facebook. Some computer's broken or something. Ready to go. All right.
All right.
See you. Bye forever.
See you. Bye forever.